Hi, Haley. Thank you for coming in today to talk about your grandma Colleen. Why don't we start off by you telling me a little bit about her?
So, me and my grandma were really, really close. We were almost birthday twins, one day apart birthdays. She really, really loved her family, like spending time with them. She really loved doing puzzles, and she could literally shop till she dropped.
Sounds like my type of woman. Well, I'm really sorry to hear about your loss of her, but it sounds like you two are really close and you guys really had that special bond.
We did.
Good. I love that. Did you guys ever talk about what her end of life plans were at all?
No, we never really got the chance to.
And that's okay. Not everybody does. Do you want to kind of start from the beginning, or do you have any ideas of what she would want?
Let's kind of start from the beginning and see what our options are. I'd love that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, do you think Colleen would want a traditional burial, or do you think she would want cremation?
I think traditional burial.
Absolutely. Well, with a traditional burial, the next question would be, do you think she would want the casket open, or do you think she would want it closed?
I think she would prefer closed casket.
Yeah, absolutely. No worries. And with that, let's jump into kind of how do we want to celebrate her at the funeral service? Think music. Do you want a slideshow of pictures with her, prayers, any readings, or people to speak? Do you have any ideas with that?
Yeah, I would love to do like a picture slideshow or like have our family members put together like, some little picture frame mementos.
Mm-hmm.
I could think of a few people that might want to say a few words at her funeral, but she wasn't really a religious woman, so probably no Bible readings or anything like that.
Yeah.
As for music, I don't know that we really have a preference.
Yeah. Well, I think the easiest way, we'll kind of start with the slideshow since that's kind of what sparked your interest first. I always say with a slideshow, I always make a Google file and I make it viewable, shareable, and then I'll email that to you and then you can send that to whomever you want. That way everybody can add photos onto it and then we can create a slideshow out of that. Does that sound okay?
That would be a wonderful idea.
Okay, I love it. As far as pictures go, mementos, you're more than welcome to bring anything into the funeral home. I always tell people the night before, even throughout the week, the day of, you can come in a little early to set up. We have plenty of easels and tables, tablecloths, all of those kind of things if you need, so you don't have to worry about those. A few mementos that I kind of like for people to think about is, does she have a diploma you want to hand out or to show, or family pictures, those kinds of things. We've even had things such as a softball bat or a tennis racket, her childhood teddy bear, silly things like that even, that just mean a lot to them and to you as the family. Since you mentioned that your grandma wasn't religious, would you want a celebrant there to kind of lead the service, or would you want you or the family to run the service? How do you feel?
I think the first option.
Having a celebrant there?
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we have a great guy. His name's Alejandro. He's not religious. That's kind of who we use to run these funerals and celebrations of lives. He's really great at keeping the flow, making sure people are going up on stage or to the microphone when they should be to speak and all of that. If you would like to use Alejandro, I can definitely reach out to him and give him your information, or you're more than welcome to find a celebrant of your choice.
I think we'll just go with Alejandro. He sounds great.
Yeah, absolutely. I've had no complaints about him. I love it. Okay, well, my next question would be then looking at kind of a timeline. So Colleen just passed away yesterday, and And today's Sunday, so are you looking at possibly doing it in the next few days, or do you want to do it this coming weekend? Do you have a preference sort of on that timeline?
If we could do it the weekend, that would be perfect.
Absolutely. That sounds good. We don't have any services this weekend. I always say 9 o'clock, kind of the earliest to start usually. 10:30 is usually on a Saturday the better time for people, but it's completely up to you. And then that way it gives everybody time to come in, do a visitation, and then start the service usually around 10 o'clock.
Sounds perfect to me.
Okay. Good. Again, she sounded like an amazing woman. Even though we're having a closed casket, do you think she would want to be embalmed? Do you want to get her embalmed? I only ask that because that is a week away. There shouldn't be any issues at all. But we always just like to ask the family on their preference with that.
It's cheaper to do it without embalming, right?
Correct. Yes.
I would think since we're doing closed casket, we don't really need to do the embalming.
Yeah, no worries. And as we look over our general price list and as we go through our statement of goods and services later, you'll see that embalming taken off of our bundle that all of the services together under one fee, but you'll see I take that embalming fee off of there for you.
Okay.
With burial, do you know, are you be thinking a wood casket, a metal casket, green burial, more in wicker? Do you have any preference? What do you think she would like?
I'm kind of for the green burial.
Yeah, absolutely. I think green burials are beautiful. I will say there's only one green cemetery out in this area. It's Oak Hill Cemetery. It's off of 49th Street. Is that an okay cemetery?
Yeah, sounds fine to me.
Okay, awesome. So with a green burial, I always tell families that there cannot be any metal. There cannot be anything that cannot be returned to the earth.
Okay.
So when we're thinking about what outfit we want to put grandma in, just keep that in mind. The other option is to do a traditional green burial shroud, which is just a 100% cotton sheet that we snugly wrap her in, and then we can put flowers in it or whatever you'd want. But that option is completely up to you, and you don't have to make that decision today either.
Okay.
And then with a green cemetery, we don't have to worry about a vault since we're going directly into the earth.
Mm-hmm.
The other question that I always like to ask families is when we do get out to the cemetery and we are putting your grandma into the earth, would you and some family members like to put some earth on top of the casket? And by that, I mean, would you guys like to, either with a shovel or with your hand, have the opportunity to put some of the ground back on top of her?
I think that would be a nice opportunity for some people that might want to do that.
Yeah. I always ask because it helps the cemetery when they're doing the opening and closing on making sure that that earth is placed where you guys can easily reach it and do that. I think it's a lovely way to respect your loved one. Well, Haley, as we kind of wrap up here, we can get into some of her vital information a little later. Do you have any questions for me right now, specifically about the service?
I don't think so. I think all of it sounds really great.
Awesome. So I just am going to recap kind of what we talked about, and then you just jump in at any moment if you think that there's anything that I need to change or I didn't quite get correct. So we're going to do next Saturday, we're going to do a closed casket. We're going to do a green wicker casket. And then I'm going to call Alejandro and I'm going to get him in touch with you. And then I'm going to get that slideshow to you for you to be able to send out. And then you can bring in any memorials. And then I will also contact Oak Hill Cemetery, and we'll get all that information set up with
Sounds
the cemetery.
Perfect.
Okay. Well, I'll get you a water and a coffee, and I'm going to go grab a few more papers, and then we can get into vital information. Haley, thank you, and I'll be right back. And again, I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.